Hello, YouTube. I'm doing a live stream, sort of a surprise live stream, as I tend to do whenever I do a live stream. But today, because you're presumably watching this on the replay because nobody's in here right now, I'm going to be talking about what the title of the video of the live stream is, which is the announcements for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic that's going to be opening at Epic Universe next year in 2025, the very final world land that needed to be announced for Universal's Epic Universe. And it's pretty exciting. I'm not overwhelmed, and I'm not underwhelmed with what was announced yesterday. I think I'm perfectly whelmed with the new Wizarding World of Harry Potter expansion for Epic Universe. I'm going to give it a minute for people to get into the chat so we can sort of start having a conversation about this final land and Epic Universe, because now everything has been announced for Epic Universe, every single world from Isle of Berk and Super Nintendo World and Dark Universe, and then now finally Ministry of Magic. So we have technically 5 worlds if you count Celestial Park as well. But this is the final IP land that has been very highly anticipated. It was announced yesterday on Harry Potter's birthday, July 31st. And yeah, I'm excited to go to Universal, to go to City Walk, to use the VR now on every single one of the lands. It's something that we haven't really done. We played around with it a little bit when we've gone there a couple times. But now to have the entirety of the park be able to see that and experience that through the VR is going to be really neat. So today I'm going to be talking about Harry Potter. I'm wearing my Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure shirt, and I have my Magical Creatures here. This is one that I've had forever, and I brought it back with me recently after a trip to Pensacola, and then Britta got this for me, and she liked it because she said she specifically wanted me to mention because it looks like a peep. So yeah, there's my little owl from I think Five Below. So put that over here, and also in the thumbnail I had these 2 wands, and I intentionally specifically chose these 2 wands. Which these thumbnails, these live stream thumbnails, they're stupid. I have fun just being just to make a thumbnail because I don't know what else to do. But I chose these ones because these are relevant for the land, because this land is a hybrid land of 2 different stories within the Harry Potter universe, which is the original Harry Potter series and then the prequel of Fantastic Beasts. That is going to be sort of a point of contention for a lot of people that I already know, and I don't disagree with. I was talking with Brennan about it yesterday, and just the confusion that this land is going to bring into, or just how confusing this land will be for people, which it probably won't be. You know, the average person, the average guest is just going to be happy to be walking around a Harry Potter themed land, but for a Harry Potter purist who knows the books and the movies, and just knows this story, that this land is going to be dedicated to both the 1920s and 1990s Harry Potter at the same time, simultaneously, without really much, presumably not much of a conversation about how they're able to pull that off. They're just sort of doing it and just letting us enjoy these lands, which I don't have anything to say about that, because I'll get into the specifics of the land, just sort of talking my way through this, I think. But I think ultimately they're just giving us more Harry Potter. And they're like, here you go, have fun, be happy about it, or don't. And I sort of understand that. Can I turn up the volume a little bit, please? Am I really quiet? I'm looking at my little monitor here. I can turn it up a little bit. Is it a little bit louder, maybe? I'm talking right into the microphone, so hopefully you can hear that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue talking from here. I have pretty much what I've done for every single land announcement up to this point. I took some pictures that Universal released, the concept art for this specific land, and I'm just going to be walking through that and just sort of talking my way through it. I don't have any, up until this point, again, there's a lot of information that has been leaked and accessed about Epic Universe and the specifics of just the rides themselves, and I haven't looked into that. I don't want to look into that. I want to sort of experience that when I actually do. I want to be as spoiler-free of the actual ride, much like up to this point, being not exposed to these lands that everyone has known about, I think, up until this point, like the amount of rides and shows for each of these lands. Yeah, it's been fun to just let Universal announce what they want to announce about these worlds, and it has been worth the wait because getting to see these like reveal videos and then the fly through 3D renderings of these lands has been so cool to just experience for the first time. And specifically, this land is going to be interesting. It is sort of like another Diagon Alley, I think, but a little bit more big. So I'm gonna go and get into it. So here is Epic Universe. This is the entirety of the theme park. So I didn't really talk about Celestial Park that much in terms of like a dedicated live stream. But then I did talk about in separate live streams Isle of Berg, Super Nintendo World, and then Dark Universe. And now I'm talking about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. And I don't know how highly anticipated this land was compared to the other lands. Definitely it's probably pretty up there, just Universal's hyperfixation and then return on investment of like the success of what Harry Potter has done for Universal. So this is an easy golden egg for them in terms of just, yes, of course they had to put more Harry Potter in the new theme park. I think all of these lands are going to bring something equally as interesting and exciting, and just individually watching all of these specific world breakdowns and just trying to consider the amount of time that is going to be dedicated and needed and necessary to experience these worlds. It's sort of overwhelming. Like I could feel like I could spend an entire day or multiple days in each world, in each individual land. I'm trying to call them worlds because they're supposed to be a collection of worlds within the universe, right? But yeah, just there's so much to experience. I could not imagine going in to this park on one day and feeling like I could have even possibly experienced every single one of these lands and all of the different hyper like specific details, much less the rides themselves and then the shows, the places to eat. It is just, that is what is most exciting about all of this, is it will take so much time just to see it all. And then it, from that like stepping off point, just to be able to come back and do it again and do it in different ways and start the day in this world and then end the day in this world, or to have breakfast and dinner at different places. And then because that's what I do. That's what I do at theme parks, right? Is it's all about how you construct your day and make it different every single trip, and that prevents the burnout, and that just enables you to have the best time, I think, at a theme park. But okay, so looking at the Ministry of Magic specifically, so they released this concept art of the entirety of the land. It looks sort of small. It's not, but it looks sort of small because it sort of has this Diagon Alley feel to it. And so I actually have, if I can go out of this really quick, I have all of these notes. I did take like a bunch of notes because I think this land is in most need of just making sure that I get the names of these things as right as possible. I even, you can't really see it, but I put like the phonetics of like how to pronounce a lot of these like French words. I tried to Google it. I listened to the video where they announced these specific restaurants and shops and rides, and even how they pronounced it in the video and how I Googled the pronunciation of some of these, it was a little bit off. So yeah, I don't know. Is the volume extremely low? I'm going to bump it up more. Is that doing anything? I'm trying to like put it as high as I can without like peaking or anything. At least from what I can tell over here. How does that sound? A little bit better? A little bit louder? Anybody want to weigh in on that? I don't want to look back at this later and just hear myself whispering like this. I'm talking very excitedly about this land, but I can't hear anything because it's going to be so quiet. So I'm gonna keep talking, and if I keep needing to make it louder, I will do it because this information's important, and I don't want to do this again. But yeah, I have all of my notes here that I'm gonna like go through. Also, I have this, my butterbeer mug, and then I have appropriately, it's not gonna focus. I have, whoops, wrong side. I have my butter beer that I'm gonna be drinking. Right? Isn't that appropriate? So, gonna pour myself this and then go back to this. So there's the land. And I do think it looks sort of small, but what they said in the video is I think specifically they said that the shortest building in the Ministry of Magic Land is taller than the tallest building in Diagon Alley. And that's pretty cool that you're going to be able to walk into this land, into this world. I'm going to call it a land and a world, sort of back and forth, probably. They needed to do this, I think, specifically because the Grand Helios Hotel is right next to this land. And for just as much immersion as possible, you couldn't, I mean, you still might be able to see it depending on how tall or far away the hotel actually is compared to your perspective inside the land. But that would have been not great for immersion purposes to be in 1920s Paris and just see the hotel just like peeking up over the top of one of the buildings. So I'd like to think that this is on purpose, specifically because of the sight lines of the rest of the theme park, so that you cannot see the hotel, so that you cannot see the what is it? Is it Stardust or Starfall Racers? I keep forgetting. I feel like I messed this up in a video recently where I called it by its original name instead of its new name. So you won't be able to see the Celestial Park roller coaster. You won't be able to see anything from Isle of Berk. So I hope that you're fully immersed in this land and you can't see anything. It'd be cool when you're in the hotel looking down on the land. Maybe you could see something, but who knows? That hotel is going to be absolutely massive. So yeah, this is going to be, it's going to feel like a different place just walking into the Ministry of Magic, which is weird that it's the wizarding world of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, when the Ministry of Magic is just one ride in the land. It's not the entirety of this land, because the land is 1920s Paris. Yeah, I don't know. But so going on from this, I guess backing out a little bit, is the portal. So this is the portal that you're going to be walking through. Every individual world has a portal that you access the land by going through. And to my knowledge, still, this is the only entrance and exit of the individual worlds. There won't be other access points. There may be different exit points depending on just how popular this theme park is in its first few months, definitely, of being open. So they might have like certain ways to exit people out of these lands so that not every single person is going in and out of the worlds from this one small portal. But this is the portal into the Harry Potter land. Oh, and then there's me. Hello. See, I'm still getting used to this, like trying to like use videos and pictures and stuff through the live stream. Surprise myself. So once you enter in through that portal, well, before this, I guess, you're going to go through this arch. So this is this is the main street. This is the reveal. After you walk through the portal, you walk underneath the arch. This is the land. This is what you're going to be seeing. This is the focal point at the end of this road, sort of like akin to Diagon Alley. You walk through the Leaky Cauldron, you walk through the bricks, and then you see Gringotts. You see the dragon. Like, that is the equivalent of what you're going to be seeing walking in through the land here. But after walking through the portal, this is what you walk underneath. And the name of this is the Phoenix Arch. So you're going to be walking underneath the Phoenix Arch. And the scale of that looks just absolutely phenomenal. Just like the French architecture of that. And you can see like little carts there and painters and stuff. So like, I don't know if they just added it in just to add to the specific concept art of this, or if they're actually going to have team members that are going to just be adding to the experience of this land by just having artists paint and vendors sell out of their little carts. So yeah, that is the Phoenix Arch that you're walking underneath, and after you pass underneath that arch is this. This is the Place Cachet, I believe, or Google called it the Plaza Cachet, but according to the video, it was the Place Cachet. But that is, I think it's like hidden place, right? So presumably, this is the street. I don't know the name of this specific street. I don't know if that's what this entire area is called, the Place Cachet, or if that's this specific street. I don't really know. So this will be fun to look back on in the future, as all these videos of my conjecture and being very wrong about my assumptions and presumptions of everything. But this is like the Parisian-inspired 1920s Paris, France. So this is where they're leaning into the Fantastic Beasts, which was sort of based in like, I think in like French and also American sort of cultures of the magical worlds, and that's where it gets a little bit odd with the timeline. That this is going to be 1920s France, and there are a ton of these different shops and restaurants and stores and cafes just all up and down the street here. But at the very back of the land, you can see that tent back there. So that is going to be the show. This land has a show and a ride, and that's it. If you don't consider like all of the different like other aspects, like the wand magic and then the restaurants, and the bars. But that is Le Cirque Arcanu, and that is going to be the show for the land. And let's see if I can. I guess okay. So before we specifically go into like the show and then the ride for the land, I'm going to talk about just the land in general and how it's split up. So this is how they're doing this. This is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic, and it's going to be about the stories of both Newt Scamander's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them 1920s era of this wizarding story, as well as the 1990s original Harry Potter story with Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, and Hermione Granger. And that is weird, and to not have any sort of explanation about that sort of time travel, which they might, I don't know, the time turner aspect of this could feasibly make that make sense, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I think they're just going to present this to you, and you just need to accept it. I think that's my opinion about how they're doing this, where they're just like, yep, this is 1920s France, and then you can go ride the ride, and then you can, watch Harry Potter and Ron and Hermione take on another villain in their story, and it's just, that's how you have to accept it. Sorry, which I think I'm okay with. Because again, the alternative would have just been to lean more heavily on the Fantastic Beasts stories, which are definitely not as popular as the Harry Potter stories, or vice versa. Like just really trying to milk the original series more out of this trio of heroes. I think it's okay. I think it's going to work out, and it's one of those things that guests probably aren't going to think too much about, and the people that really do think too much about it, maybe you're looking into it too much, because the rest of the Wizarding Worlds are they're different, right? So the original blurry. The original land of Hogsmeade, it's sort of timeless, right? But it's, especially when they had Dragon Challenge, it was sort of around 4th, 5th book, in between the 4th and the 5th book, sort of that era where I think Voldemort had returned. He was a threat. Death Eaters were this I don't know, this problem, so this world had been established, and that's really like the part of the story that is just the most Harry Potter, right? After Voldemort returns, and after just this story really starts to pick up, and that's what the I think the Hogsmeade area is sort of centered around, that timeless time of Voldemort's return, and then Harry Potter's introduction into his prophecy and how he needs to defeat Voldemort, but he's also just a kid going to school. And then you have Diagon Alley, which is very much so obviously set 7th book of Harry Potter, finding the Horcruxes, defeating Voldemort. So 2 sort of different time periods there, taking the train back and forth. You just have to kind of be okay with it. You have to be okay that these are 2 separate points in time that still sort of work out. Same with this land. It's weird that it's in the same land, I think, is the biggest problem, is that you're in 1920s and the 1990s, also in 2 different areas, both in France and in London. But that was my little tangent about that, where it's a thing, but it doesn't matter, I don't think. So now, the show. So this is Le Cirque Arcanu. So this is going to be like a special effects / live action stunt show, presumably. They're going to have aerialists and special effects and puppets. Let's see, I think I have a picture of the stage too. Yeah, so this will be really neat. I wonder if they're going to have any sort of like, I've never seen Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, but one of the key elements of that show were the special effects, were what they were able to do on stage and how they were able to bring that magic to life. And I do wonder if they're going to be duplicating sort of that technology for this stage show that they will be doing multiple times every single day, included in your park admission. Like how incredible, right? So it looks like they have somebody on a broom. So that'll be neat. Will they be doing the same technology that they're going to be doing over in Isle of Berk, where it's going to have the dragon show, or Hiccup is going to be flying around on Toothless? Will they be doing that on a broomstick in this theater? They're really they're going to just blow this completely out of the water with in a good way about how cool this is going to be. Just this entire land. So let's see, what next do I have? So I guess next is the Metro Flu. So the Metro Flu, this is how they're sort of connecting, I guess, the 1920s Paris to the 1990s-ish London. And it's sort of a cool idea, I think. So sort of where this concept art is created from. This is like if you were standing. I think if this is where you're standing in front of Le Cirque Arcanu, and you're looking off to the side there. So that's where the Metro Flu is going to be. You can also see the let's see if I can say this right. Bierober, is that right? That it's butterbeer, but Bierober, and that's what that little cart is going to sell. So they're just going to be selling butterbeer, obviously, in the land from the cart in the street, and then probably inside the bars and the restaurants as well. But way back there in the back, I think that is the Metro Flu. So that is how you're going to be getting from Paris to London by using the Flu network. And this is a cool idea. You're going to be able to walk into this building, and then from the video that they talked about the specifics of this, you're walking into the fireplace, and you really will feel like not like you're in an actual fire, but the special effect of how they're going to transport you from here to the Ministry of Magic, to the British Ministry of Magic, that is going to be pretty cool, I think. So once you're at the British Ministry of Magic, this is the reveal of this is the ride queue. It looks like this is like a hybrid of like a ride queue, but then also a place just to take pictures, maybe, or is that the exit of the ride? I don't know, but it that's what I'm most interested when they present these sorts of concept arts, where you can see a lot happening in the picture, where you can see somebody arriving in the fireplace. Is that going to be you arrive in the fireplace and then you get in line, or how will that work? And then can you just come into this building and then just take pictures and look around? You need to get in line for the ride to be able to see this. This is very similar to Gringotts, right? You walk into Gringotts, and this is the grand reveal of you are inside Gringotts Bank with all of the goblin tellers around you, and the beautiful chandelier and just the ornate architecture of Gringotts. This is that reveal, but you can only see that if you're actually in line for the ride. So will you be able to just walk around in here, just take a picture like it looks like they're doing in the concept art here? I don't know. But the storyline for this is that this is post Voldemort's defeat, and Dolores Umbridge is on trial for her crimes against the magical community. And that's a pretty cool extension of the storyline. They are creating their own parallel continued story that I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if it's Universal Creative that was able to create this story and then pass it through J.K. Rowling or Warner Brothers, or how they were able to get that approval of being able to extend this story, or if they just took their own creative liberties. I'm sure there had to have been very specific and strict permissions to do this. But this is very unique, because all of the other rides are... Forbidden Journey is really just a love letter to the Harry Potter world. Just that ride, everything that you experience is just it is the climax of just so many pivotal moments in the story. And then Diagon Alley sort of takes a unique, maybe not exactly like intrinsically true to the book's approach of the Gringotts roller coaster experience, but it took a situation that happened in the books and just sort of elaborated on that story just a little bit, where you could look at how they took those liberties in that storytelling and be like, I guess that could have happened. I mean, why not? But they're extending beyond the story. So this is post Harry Potter, and I think that this is really neat. So this ride, this is the ride for the land, and you're going to be in an elevator on your way to. I'm presuming that you're just going to be just sort of an audience to the hearing for Umbridge, but she escapes, and then there's a battle of Death Eaters throughout the Ministry, and I'm presuming that you're just experiencing this from your elevator. The ride vehicle for this, I don't know if it's sort of like Rise of the Resistance, or if it's like Spider-Man, or a hybrid of both, or completely different, but it's going to be pretty cool. And just being able to experience this in the video they showed, I don't know if it's that specific Death Eater in the concept art, but in articulating animatronic that looked very cool, like that, along with the Dark Universe werewolf. They're just really doing a great job with animatronics. So kudos to Universal for making that happen. It's probably going to have some screen elements to it, I'd imagine, to just make this story even bigger. But I think Universal is doing a good job of finding that balance between screen and practical. I think all theme parks are now. I think that's using screens to just make the universe bigger, but then also using the practical sets and effects and animatronics to really just sell what people want in a theme park ride. So I have a little, I guess, just some information. So I did sort of look at, because I was interested in this. So this just made me curious because it's going to be set post Harry Potter Voldemort defeat, right? So, and you are going to be joining Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Will Daniel and Rupert and Emma do this? They won't, because they don't do that anymore. But how they're able to do CGI and use these characters and sound alikes, I think they're going to be able to make it work, because they did it with Gringotts. I think only Rupert returned for Escape from Gringotts, but they still did it. So according to J.K. Rowling, according to like the continued story of Harry Potter, just like what everybody did after the Battle of Hogwarts. So Hermione finished her education at Hogwarts. She was the only one of Harry, Ron, and Hermione who finished her education, went back to Hogwarts to finish that education. And then she had a position in the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures, where she continued to advocate for SPEW, for house elves. And then she was eventually promoted to the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. And then beyond that, the Ministry of Magic, the Minister of Magic for the Ministry of Magic. She was the deputy head for the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. And then Harry and Ron both became Aurors, which the Auror Office was a division of the Magical Law Enforcement Department. And then Harry eventually became the head of the Magical Law Enforcement Department. So in terms of the timeline of when they were in these particular departments, or who was head or deputy head, I don't have like the specifics of like the years about that, and it was a little bit sort of confusing. Ron was only an Auror for a couple years, and then he left to work with George at Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes. This is all sort of irrelevant information, but I was curious, because if this takes place post Voldemort defeat, like how far after that? Immediately? Like presumably before any of this even happened, before Hermione continued her education, before Harry and Ron worked as Aurors. Do they all work for the Ministry in this story, or is this still them like in Hogwarts years? I don't know. I'm curious about that, just specifically about how they're going to do that. Like, is it still going to be the youthful Harry, Ron, and Hermione that we know, or are they taking the liberty of like making it be a couple years or something in between the conclusion of the Voldemort story and then this happening? So I don't know. Probably, presuming if they're just sort of using the digital models of these characters from when they were in the movies and stuff, it's going to be just happening immediately right after Voldemort's downfall, which that's a bummer, right? You finally defeat Voldemort, and then now you have to deal with this battle of the Ministry, fighting more Death Eaters and Umbridge, and you'd think you won, you think you're done, and then now all of this. Which I'm also curious about this story, because Umbridge was not necessarily she wasn't a Death Eater, right? She was just an awful person and corrupt, and it was that sort of that political factor that was introduced that had really not a lot to do. It was just how they treated the Voldemort. I don't know. So that'll be interesting. Like, are they saying that Umbridge is a Death Eater? Because even in the movie, it's like, I don't know. It's it just her allegiance is to like order, is to the ministry, is to um, just advocating for, and maybe that's sort of a parallel to like purism within the wizarding world and community. That's what Voldemort wanted. Um, I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm curious. I think that it's going to be kind of fun just to see how they like handle that. But usually the answer is just the easiest answer, which is just like this happened right after Voldemort was defeated. Voldemort was defeated, and then they held trial for Umbridge, and then she broke loose, and the Death Eaters were, I guess, still a thing apparently. And then I don't know. There's got to be some parallels with that. I'm curious, right? Um, yeah, she was kind of a Death Eater, right? Like even in the book where she's working at the Ministry, and then just sort of the collaboration with the Dementors, there was something messed up about her, and but it was never really connected to Voldemort's movement. So I don't know how they connect that with Death Eaters. I think they're just with the predominant like message of this land, they're just taking liberties to just tell a fun Harry Potter story. So maybe I'll shut up about it. But I thought that was just worth looking into. It was just like what happened after Hogwarts with the main trio and just their careers and furthered education or lack thereof, and just is that going to play a factor into this at all, or is it just going to be just immediately after the Battle of Hogwarts? So I don't know. But that was the Ministry of Magic ride, and also in the land, there's going to be a wand shop. So this is. Did I write this down? Uh-oh. No, I did. This is the Cosme Acajur, right? I think this is the wand shop. So this is going to be the Ollivander's or Grigorovich wand shop equivalent of Paris. I think this is Cosme Acajur, right? So you're going to be able to choose your wands here. Will there be a wand show? They didn't say anything about there being like a wand, like chooses the wizard or the witch sort of a show to go along with this. So I'm presuming that you're just going to be able to buy a wand here. This is just going to be a shop just to buy more replica character wands. Will they have anything specific to France? I mean, they already have the wands for the Fantastic Beasts characters, so I don't really know. But so that'll be fun. And then where there's a wand shop, there's going to be wand magic. So throughout the land, which this is exciting, they're going to have some more interactive wand spells to be able to cast wands just throughout the land. So that'll be neat. This is one with a little Niffler from Fantastic Beasts. So yeah, then that'll be cool. And then I guess sort of finally, stuff that I didn't really look into too much. They do have a restaurant. This is Café L'air de la Sereine, something like that, I think. So this is going to be sort of outside is like, again, the main street for Plaza Cachet. Plaza Cachet? Yes. And this will be just like the main kind of restaurant, presumably quick service, sort of a similarity to Three Broomsticks or Leaky Cauldron. So we'll see about that. And I think they're going to have like other cafes maybe, or quick service windows maybe. They're going to have some bars. They have Bar Moonshine, which I think is that what this is? Maybe? Or is this Le Gobelet Noir? Maybe? So yeah, I don't know. Is this going to be like another sort of a smaller quick service, or is this going to be like a bar? I don't really know. But yeah, so I settled those kind of back to back to back. But Café L'air de la Sereine, Bar Moonshine, and Les Gobelets Noirs. Yeah, so I don't know. There'll be some bars and restaurants to check out, in addition to some shops and merchandising. I'm sure you're going to be able to buy your robes and your Quidditch equipment and all that stuff. So that was sort of like a walkthrough of the land. Did I hear that there will be wizards from America in the land from the American school? Did not hear that. That's actually going to be pretty cool. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. That was really, really, really nice of you. I don't know. I saw pictures of like a Bobatons, like which in like a gazebo or something. Are they gonna have like meet and greets with different like wizards and witches in that way, where there's gonna be like wizards from America or um I guess Bobatons is the French school, right? So yeah, they would totally be walking around Place Cachet. This is their Diagon Alley, wouldn't it be? Maybe, I don't know. That's interesting. I hope I said everything right in this. Did I even say the name of the ride? Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. That is the name of the ride for the Ministry of Magic land. So that's where it's confusing because the name of the land is also sort of the name of the ride in a way. So yeah, two main attractions, Le Cirque Canoe and then Battle at the Ministry are going to be the respective show and ride for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic land in Epic Universe. With I that's where I'm excited about just I either what I missed in the video or writing down or just trying to like research it and looking through other people's sort of notes about this land, just the amount of different little bars and shops and how Diagon Alley has so many different things that even if I tried to like list them now, I don't know if I could list every single just shop in that land. But I'm excited. I'm excited about Metroflu, and the British Ministry of Magic is going to be so cool to be able to walk. That is going to be just the coolest thing to walk into the lobby of the Ministry of Magic, and I'm glad that they went with that. And I know that it's confusing with the storyline, and I get it, but I would have much preferred just them saying, "Sorry, I hope you like it." I would prefer that over them trying to shoehorn in more Fantastic Beasts that just does not have that same level of that same connection, or just relevance or recognizability with this land. So yeah, that's neat, and I'll hopefully improve with the pronouncing of all of these. And did I even say why I had these wands? This is Newt Scamander's wand, and this is Harry Potter's wand. So that's why I have both of these, because this is what the land is going to be, Harry Potter and Newt Scamander. I don't know if he's going to be in like the show or anything like that. I think there's a pretty intentional I don't know, like they're not supposed to be any recognizable characters. Like you can't take a picture with Harry Potter, and you never will be able to. I think, you can take pictures with Death Eaters and sort of nameless students from like Durmstrang and Bobatons and stuff, but you can't meet Harry Potter. I presume that you will not be able to meet like Newt Scamander or anything like that. Yeah, so I've been talking about this for a little bit. Neat. I'm gonna have some butterbeer. That's definitely not root beer. I wonder if they're going to be like introducing anything specific to like Paris Wizarding World. Like, will they have like an equivalent of what butterbeer is, but it's going to be specific for Paris 1920s? I don't know. Like, it'll be neat. They have to have specific like treats, and like, will they have like crepes and macarons, all those other French stuff? Will they complete the rest of the Fantastic Beasts movies? I don't know. Oh, you don't have to keep super chatting. Thank you so much. Do you think if they do bring Pokemon to Orlando that it will be at Studios or Nintendo Land expansion? I don't know. So I don't like that I know this or that I saw this. I can't do anything about it. But I saw like firework pictures. They are going to be doing a fireworks show, I guess, from Epic Universe, and one of the fireworks looked like a Pokeball. So whatever that means, we'll see. Like, will they have Harry Potter merchandise or representation? The big rumor is that it's going to replace Springfield. And there are people that do a lot more an intentional investment into figuring out that information. So I'm sure if Pokemon is coming, everyone's going to make sure that everybody knows about it. It won't be a surprise. But I don't know. I would love Pokemon. It'll be neat. Whatever they do with it, they should do something with it. They do Pokemon over in Japan with Nintendo. So will we get it here? Maybe at some point. Hopefully. Oh, I think that was just thunder outside. Sorry, I'm reading some comments. I wish there was more to do in the land in terms of a ride. Maybe there's room for expansion. This land seems like there's like it's missing something, or something might be sort of like a secondary or like phase 2 add-on to, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how successful this is, or just I think just the entirety of Epic Universe. Like it's too pretentious to like go in Epic Universe and then want more immediately. But it'll be fun to like walk around and just see where they have that room to expand, or just what feels like it's sort of lacking and where they can definitely add to, or just that absolutely intentional. You walk into a land and then there's just nothing but like a wall in front of you, and you're like, oh, this is where they're definitely going to be adding something, like absolutely within the next few years or decade or something. Because I don't know what their budget was and what it ended up being for Epic Universe, and did they actually build this theme park exactly how it was conceptualized, or did they have to eliminate certain projects from the budget to be able to build the land? I do feel bad for my wallet too if they bring Pokemon over here. If they just had a Pokemon Center, just a gift shop that was Pokemon like they have overseas that are incredibly popular, where they just have a plush of every single Pokemon, that'd be cool. I don't need a Pokemon ride. I don't need a meet and greet personally. That would be kind of cute, but I don't need it. But if they had just a store that was like the Pokemon Center store, that would surprise. I guarantee, like that would Universal would not be prepared for how popular that would be. So I think I want to go and sort of conclude this live stream. Just really wanted to like talk about just this land. I think that I talked about it enough, probably a little bit too much. But I'm excited. This is it. We now have Epic Universe. We have the specifics of every single land, except for like the actual POVs of the rides and then the shows and stuff, and the queue walkthroughs, which that's what's going to be, that's going to be for actually being there, But now, as far as actually knowing what these rides are, what these lands are going to be, what the shows are going to be, the different like restaurants, and that'll be more fun too, to also experience in person. Like it's easy to read about restaurants and their themes, in a couple sentences worth of expository about what these lands are going to have, but actually being there and seeing what the individual options of where I'd want to eat and have a snack and have a drink and have breakfast or lunch or dinner, that's gonna be just so cool. Yeah, the rumor is that it's that Pokemon's going to be replacing Simpsons, but I don't know. If I could only have one wand, what would it be? I don't know. I have a lot now. They're all over here. There's not like a wand that I need anymore. I think like the interactive ones, those are just neat. Those are actually really fun to collect. The original like character ones, they don't make them non-interactive anymore. Like I bought this years ago, and it's very heavy and it's not interactive, and they're all interactive now. I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, they do not make non-interactive Harry Potter ones anymore, like unless it's like a specialty one like this Newt Scamander or something. But I don't think you can buy like a Harry or Dumbledore wand that's not interactive anymore. So I did want to end this video with something that I got in the mail. It has nothing to do with Epic Universe at all, or Harry Potter, but I want to make sure that I put it somewhere. So I'm going to, let's see, can I switch over to this camera right over here? Yeah, that works. Okay. So in the mail, I got this. And I just wanted to be able to show it off. I like to try to find my opportunities to like show stuff that we get in the mail, just to make sure that I thank everybody for it. So we got a couple things. One was a letter here. It says, "You're engaged. Over the moon for you." And this is a little letter from, make sure that I don't show their address, if I can help it. Roy and Brennan, congratulations to you from Joe and Isaac in the United Kingdom. So yeah, they sent a happy little letter over. Yeah, it says, "My son and I have been watching your videos for years and we love them. You are both lovely, and with the Lightful families. We wanted to congratulate you both on your engagement. I've been saying to my son for years, Roy and Brennan should get married. We are coming to Disney World in September, as we do every year, and then back again in January, as my son is running Disney. Sending you best wishes for now and the future. Arlo is adorable. So that was really sweet from Joe and Isaac from the UK. That was just super, super sweet. Just people to congratulate us just on our engagement. That meant a lot to us. And then finally, I wanted to do this because I've been waiting to do this for a little bit. So if you don't like Lorcana, I'm sorry about it. But this was sent in the mail from Corey. It says, enjoy your gift and congrats on your engagement. Look at these little fun engagement little gifts. This is just so sweet from everybody. And I want to make sure that I showed this off, that I opened it up or read the letter so that I could put it in our little binder. So I'm going to go ahead and open these up really quickly because I'm sure that they would appreciate to see if got anything super cool. They're always looking for the Enchanteds in Lorcana. Let's see if I can get one. I'm not even showing that off well. I did make a Lorcana deck today, actually, because I'm going on a trip. Ooh, I got a super rare Mirabelle, as well as a super rare Gaston. Yeah, so tomorrow morning I'm actually getting on a flight and going on a trip to visit the family. We're going to be staying in like in a little house or cabin, sort of, and just having some time together with our cousins. Something we have not done in a while. We used to do it every single summer, and we haven't done it in a bit because everybody has families and everyone's getting kids now, so it's harder to get together, but we're trying to make it work. So yeah, I'm going to be just taking a quick weekend trip to do that. And I'll try to film that as well, of course. Okay, got a super rare. Oh, got a hollow Hercules. All right, so one more pack, and then I can go and conclude this video. Appreciate everybody hanging out with me, and for me. What laptop am I streaming from? I'm streaming from my MacBook. Oh, that's weird. This one was kind of open. Okay. I'm even talking into the microphone right now. Oh, I can hear that thunder. Got a hollow Pegasus, and then a super rare Prince Philip, as well as other probably super rares that I did not see. All right, going back to this camera. Yay! So that worked out. So thank you to Corey, and thank you to Joe and Isaac, all the way from the UK. If you're watching this, thank you again so much. Just want to make sure that I opened it somewhere so that I could show my appreciation. Doesn't make the most sense to do it in a Epic Universe Harry Potter video, but I want to make sure they did it before I left on my trip. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and head on out. I'm still getting some questions here about if I could design my own custom wand. I don't know. I mean, I did make my own wand like a few years ago, like during the pandemic and stuff. I don't know. I like the like less intricate like wood designed wands because I used to just pick up sticks in my yard, or when we would go on like trips and go hiking and camping and stuff, I would just pick up a stick and that would be my wand. It was so simple. And I've not seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet, but Brendan and I have been talking about that too. Like we don't, like, especially me, I do not watch TV shows and movies. I do other stuff where I'm constantly trying to like do this. I know I don't like edit, or I don't upload as frequently as a lot of other people do. But just like the stuff sort of in between, like the uploads of me filming stuff or working on other things also for the channel that I haven't really done anything with. And I don't know. I don't watch TV shows and movies, but we need to catch up on a lot of stuff. We need to catch up on a lot of Marvel stuff, a lot of Pixar stuff. Very behind. And so the goal is to watch Deadpool and Wolverine at some point. Unfortunately, because of the internet, much like Epic Universe, I know a lot of spoilers about that, but what are you going to do? It's the internet. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the live stream and watching me take like one sip of my butter beer. But yeah, Epic Universe has been announced. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. It's going to be cool, and I can't wait to go there in 2025. And it might even be sooner. It won't be sooner than 2025, but it might be sooner than we know. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.